Elementary, my dear viewers. Today is Wednesday, and so I deduce that today's topic must be top 5 fictional characters I am like. I look more like Popeye than Sherlock Holmes there. Stuff it. But I'm going to keep the hat on anyway. So hello, as Sherlock Holmes said, it is in fact Top 5 Wednesday, and I am doing the top 5 fictional characters I'm like, but if you happen to be into Top 5 Wednesdays yourself, you will know that that isn't in fact this week's topic. That's summer reads, and to be honest, it bores me. I don't have any specific summary reads, and I think I've answered that one before. So I'm going to do last week's, which I couldn't do instead. Could be more fun. And who doesn't like to look at characters they're like, and not just characters they want to be like, but actually feel they share traits with. If I tell you the names of all of these right now, you'll think I'm being very egotistical, and I'm in fact not. It's just, I do share a lot of traits with these people, and not all of them good. Out of the 5, 3 of them are pretty much for the exact same reasons, with a slight difference with one of them. And that reason is they are exceptionally clever and capable of doing so much. They're among the most brilliant people of their worlds, or of their times, and it goes to their heads a little bit. They know they're the best, and hence act like it at times. They are incredibly manipulative at times. They can be cruel and nasty and not as good as you believe them to be, but they are ultimately good at heart, and they use their negative traits to help others, and that's something I admire in myself. And those are at number 5, 4 and 3, Granny Weatherwax from the Discworld series, Sherlock Holmes, Elementary, my dear Watson. But if we take what Rowling said about Dumbledore to be canon, this is something to be debated, but I'm going to anyway because it fits, I feel. That Dumbledore is gay, there's so much more about him that I can identify with too. Number 3 then, the one that is different, is Albus Dumbledore. Many people don't see him for what he is. They're still blinded by how Harry saw him for the first lot of books. They saw him as the kindly old man who liked to help people, and he was. But Harry Potter readers, they tend to go through stages. They start off thinking that Snape is just bad and nasty. Then they start thinking, oh, Snape is a hero, he's actually incredible. And then they start to realise that Snape is more complicated than that, and that he was ultimately a bad person, but he was in love with Harry's mother. That love and all the good things he does not erase the bad parts, the fact he terrorises children. And then readers, once they get past that one, they get to the really complicated part and see Dumbledore for the mortal, fallible, manipulative bastard, so distant and detached, and often cruel in himself in many ways, that he is. That doesn't make him bad, but he's not all good either. But the part about Dumbledore that was different is that if we take what Rowling said to be canon, that he was in fact gay, there's so many more bits of his character you can see and I identify with. Obviously not just the fact that, oh, an actual gay character, even if it's not expressly mentioned in the books, just it's nice to know. But it also explains his motivation for Grindelwald. The fact that him being so brilliant made him arrogant and also very lonely because he didn't feel like anybody could understand him or keep up with him. Trust me, I really get that one. And then all of a sudden there comes this slightly dark and mysterious stranger who is incredibly handsome, golden in face and hair apparently, and Dumbledore obviously has a thing for that, and is just as intelligent as you are, just as gifted. You are going to be very, very interested, and you will do things that would be completely outside of what you would normally want to do. You'd do anything to try and win them over, and I really get that. I have not, as far as I'm aware, had a crush on a dark wizard, but I have had a crush on people I shouldn't have done. Like straight people, which is very annoying. It's just, and then you try to win them over and you know it's not going to work, so you just have to move on and get dejected. Thankfully I didn't move on after the death of my sister. I didn't even have a sister. I've not tried to kill my brother in a long time either, so I think we're good on that front. I feel that with Dumbledore, it makes sense, and it's also partially why, despite what they were doing was despicable. I do slightly ship Dumbledore and Grindelwald. At number 2 there is Holden Caulfield from The Catcher in the Rye, because I have a big tendency to look at the world and say you're all a big bunch of phonies quite often. It's one of my favourite things to do. And lastly, at number 1, I'm going to say Luna Lovegood, also from Harry Potter, because she too is incredibly intelligent, which is a running theme with all of these ones, but she's also different. She thinks different. She sees the world in a different way from how other people would do. The fact that she is so open-minded that she can see the nargles and things is kind of what I see. I don't see nargles, but I am very aware of the possibility of seeing things other people can't, like the words I constantly see dancing in the world. I can see similarities there. Plus, she's so incredibly kind and always there to help out her friends. I, in fact, think that she would have been a much better match for Harry than Ginny, rather. But the heart wants what it wants, especially when the writer does it. And, okay, that's it. I just wanted to say a great big thank you for everybody who watched last week's video, all about my struggle with depression and attempted suicide. It was fantastic to see such a great response. I mean, now in the grand scheme of things it's such a short number, but in the space of a week to get over 100 views, for me that never ever happens. Everyone was so kind and so supportive, but there was a problem with it. And the fact being that almost everyone who wrote this said the same things, just like, oh yeah, I've had depression too, and I considered it as well. I was in a very dark place and I just wanted it to stop. So many people were saying this across all of the social media platforms I shared it on, that they too had considered killing themselves, and that is not right. So I've decided then, like Granny Weatherwax and a few of these, to use my gifts to help people. I'm obviously not in the best state myself, but I find helping other people is so therapeutic for myself, and that's what I want to do for all of you lot. Let me be a person you can come to talk to, because I will tell nobody any of your secrets, but I will listen, I will analyse, and I will advise. If you just need me to listen, I can do that. I'm not a trained professional, though I've considered it a few times, but what I am is here, and always willing to help. Until next time, tatty bye dearies.